Today here on AM 1390 KRFO, we're going to be talking about the Homestead Hospice House as Pat Buretta joins us. And coming up, as they've had for the last few years now, they have their traditional St. Patrick's Day dinner. And I don't know, maybe Pat will just go to the meat of the cause right there, the dinner. We know it's St. Patrick's Day. Where? And talk about tickets a little bit.
Sure, thanks, Lauren. The St. Patrick's dinner is at the Owatonna Elks Lodge on Thursday, March 17th. 5 to 7 p.m. Please join us, and the proceeds of this dinner are going to the Homestead Hospice House Patient Care Fund. The tickets are $15 in advance. You can purchase them at either the Elks Lodge or Kotke's, as well as at the Homestead Hospice House. We are selling tickets.
Okay.
The lunch or the dinner that will be provided is of the authentic Irish menu of corned beef and cabbage, baby red potatoes, dinner roll, and dessert.
Okay.
And I know I'm hearing great things about the food they serve at the Elks, so we're encouraging everyone to join us.
Okay. And the proceeds you mentioned go to something called the Patient Care Fund. And maybe we should just sort of talk a little bit about what that actually is, because, for example, if you do have a loved one that takes hospice house, there's different things. Some is paid, some isn't. Talk a little about what that is.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Hospice care, the hospice care program generally is covered under Medicare or your insurance. But where you live while you're receiving that care can be in your own home, can be in an apartment, can be in an assisted living, or it can be at the Homestead Hospice House. And the Homestead Hospice House, which is our community-based facility here in Owatonna, houses 8 rooms and can support up to 8 patients that are in hospice care. Folks that come to live with us at the Homestead Hospice House are required to pay for that service independently. That is a privately paid service. Generally, insurance does not cover that housing. And so for folks that come to us that are not able to pay for that, we have what's called the Patient Care Fund. And we are able to provide through generous donations from our community and those that have donated to the Patient Care Fund. Folks can stay at the Homestead Hospice House up to 30 days at no cost if they are income eligible. And we have a very high-level screening that we complete. And if a person is not able to pay for that daily rate at the Homestead House, they are eligible for those patient care funds.
Okay. 8 rooms, are they usually open or full all the time or not?
Our general census at the Homestead House has been around 4 to 5 patients at a time. So usually we have availability. It's been fluctuating between 2 patients in our house upwards to 6 to 8. So right now we don't have a waiting list, so generally, yes, there's availability at all times for our service area.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have never been there, and I guess maybe thankfully so, but talk about, let's say we walk in for the first time into the hospice house, what am I going to see?
You are going to feel like you're walking into your own home. It's a beautiful, beautiful housing situation where you walk in, you have a greeter at the front door, one of our wonderful hospice volunteers, and as you look around you'd see a living room, kitchen, dining room, family room, and then we have 8 private bedrooms with private baths. We have a spa area that includes a whirlpool shower, and then our nurses station, and we also have a small prayer room as well.
And you have nurses on duty all the time?
Absolutely. We have 1 nurse and a nursing assistant on duty around the clock, so they provide one-on-one care for our residents. Yes, and so they help support not only their personal cares, but they provide all their medication management, as well as provide meals, housekeeping, laundry, all of the things that you would need to get the care that you need there.
And usually those who do wind up at the hospice, it comes under referral, I would guess, probably from a doctor.
Not always. Hospice can come from doctors, can come from facilities, can come from families directly. We can go out and talk with patients about what the hospice program can offer and see if that fits your needs, and then at that point we would need a physician's order to actually admit you to the hospice program. Hospice is really one option for end-of-life care planning, and I'd encourage everyone to seriously think about their end-of-life care planning. It's kind of like your retirement planning. What are you planning to do at that point in your life, and how do you anticipate being cared for?
Is it advisable for someone who to just sit down and talk with someone long before you have to worry about that, or not?
Absolutely. You can talk with any of our team. We can provide some information. Talking with your physician, absolutely should think about what is the service and what can it offer to you if indeed you're ever in that need.
Mm-hmm. And I think last time we talked was sometime in the fall or winter, and over the last year or so there's been sort of an integration with faribault and Owatonna kind of getting together. I'll let you kind of explain it further.
Well, thanks for giving me that lead in, Lauren. Faribault Area Hospice is a hospice program that was located in Faribault under the District 1 Hospital Organization. Over this past year, District 1 became a part of Allina Health. And at the end of 2015, the Faribault Area Hospice Program integrated with the Owatonna Area Hospice Program. So our new name, it's kind of long, is Allina Health, Faribault, Owatonna Area Hospice, Home Care, and Homestead House. So that's our branch. And I'm so excited. We've always serviced the Faribault area, but this has given us great opportunity to service even a broader range of patients and community. And it actually, in this past 3-4 months, our current caseload in hospice alone has doubled with that affiliation.
Oh, here's a question I don't think I've ever asked. Let's say someone who lives in Owatonna, they have someone who is a candidate for hospice. They live in Illinois. Can they come up here and be close to family and use Owatonna Hospice or not?
They sure can.
Okay.
We service anyone that lives in a 50-mile radius of Owatonna. We would have to verify their insurance coverage, and if they were on a medical program that's covered only in Minnesota, that would be something they'd have to take care of. We have to service those that are in the 50-mile radius, so they do have to be living here. But yes, they could move here, live with a family member, and we can provide them their hospice care. Absolutely.
I would guess if you have it here someday, you'll get a question like that. Talk a little bit about the hospice care outside of the hospice house that's provided. What's in the package there?
It's the same package you'd receive at the Homestead House. The hospice program really entails a nurse coming to visit wherever you live, once or twice a week. They're your case manager, along with home health aid services to provide personal care, a social worker, a spiritual chaplain, volunteers. This team is all one package under hospice that comes in to provide and help you achieve your goals for comfort of care.
Mm-hmm. And I always like to bring it up and have you talk about your employees and your volunteers, because they can be kind of not just anyone can do that work. They got to be kind of special people.
You know, I have a really special team here in Owatonna, and they have to be a person that is really passionate about this journey and walking with people during their end of life. And I'll tell you, we receive so many great benefits from being in this role. Just learning from our folks and providing their cares. One of the exciting things with the Faribault Area Hospice transition is they have a very active, large group of volunteers, and most of them have integrated now with the program. And so we have a large volunteer base of over 100 volunteers that service our patients throughout our service area. And now with the addition of the Faribault Area Hospice folks, volunteers, we can better service that north part of our community. If you have interest in becoming a volunteer, Tricia Johnson is our volunteer coordinator. We do hold volunteer trainings, and there's one coming up here in April. So please let us know if you're interested. You can just contact us at our office number, 446-0936, and we can get you the information you need.
And someone will say, well, I don't know anything about nursing or doctoring, so I can't volunteer. You say what?
I say volunteers don't do doctoring and nursing.
Yeah.
Our volunteers do companionship. We have volunteers that do baking. We have volunteers that sit and play cards with our patients. Read to them, provide music, Some require or request assistance with their shoveling of their snow. So it's non-medical volunteer support. It's those other things that are so important in patients' lives that maybe they can't manage at that point and need some additional support. Probably the biggest thing is companionship. I see it allows the caregiver in the home to maybe step away for an hour or two to run an errand, and a volunteer can be with their loved one and provide that companionship.
Just the ability to just sit down and talk or listen, and that's the only skill you probably need.
Absolutely. One of the great programs we've incorporated within hospice in the last few years is honoring veterans. And that's another great opportunity if we have veterans that want to share their stories and get volunteers in that know a little bit about that they can sit and visit with them about their experiences, and it's been a very important part of their journey.
We're talking to Pat Buretta from the Homestead Hospice House. Maybe we'll just kind of review again, Pat, talk about the St. Patrick's Dinner, when, where, and talk about the tickets again.
Absolutely. The St. Patrick's Dinner will be Thursday, March 17th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Elks Lodge here in Owatonna. And tickets are $15 in advance, and you can get those either at the Elks Lodge, Kotke's, or the Homestead Hospice House. They are also will have tickets at the door for $20. Mm-hmm. And it'll be the authentic Irish menu of corned beef and cabbage, I should say. And remember that these funds will be going to the Homestead Hospice House Patient Care Funds for those in need to be able to get the care and services they need in a residence that maybe couldn't be provided elsewhere.
Got any Irish blood in you?
I don't have one bit of Irish blood, but I'm planning on being there. I love corned beef.
Yep, it's the same story here. Is Norwegian likes corned beef and cabbage like that. Any final thoughts you'd like to say that we didn't touch on, or you'd like to say about the Homestead Hospice House, Pat?
I just want to thank the community for all they have done over the years with the Homestead Hospice House, their generosity, and appreciate all the donations to help service our patients at their end of life. And thank you.